Minecraft is an enormous and expansive game built on surprisingly simple mechanics, but with a lack of tutorials, it can be confusing for many newcomers. Follow me, William Strife, as I cover the basics to the advanced of crafting, surviving, and building. Welcome to the Minecraft Guide. Put on your armor, equip your sword, ready your bow, and psych yourself up, because it's time to tackle the Nether. In Minecraft, the Nether is an otherworldly area akin to Hell. Typically, it's a place you don't want to be, but it's the only location you can find several types of very valuable materials. To go to the Nether, though, you first need to build a portal. To do this, you need at least 10 blocks of obsidian. As covered in previous videos, obsidian is created when standing lava, not flowing lava, but lava source blocks, are cooled by water. The dark purple stone is the hardest substance in the game you can mine, and it can only be broken down by a diamond pick. If you lack the diamonds to mine obsidian, check the mining guide in this series for tips on how to find them. Now, with the obsidian in hand, you need to build a portal, which is 5 blocks tall and 4 blocks wide. Basically a ring with a 3x2 hole in the middle. Once you've built the portal, you can start it by taking flint and steel, made with flint and an iron ingot, and lighting the inner ring on fire. You can jump right through and experience the horrors which lie beyond. First though, a few words of warning. Unwanted visitors can sometimes spill through the portals, so it's a fairly good idea to build one in an enclosed area instead of out in the open. The simple idea is to keep it closed off for safety's sake. Anyways, the Nether is a dimly lit and very dangerous place. Compasses and clocks spin wildly, and because the dimension has a ceiling made of bedrock, maps offer little to no help for finding direction. Navigating the terrain and not getting lost can be a bit difficult. There are several ways to keep track of where you are though, but a simple yet effective method is to leave a sort of breadcrumb trail, such as small cobblestone pillars that you can follow when you need to backtrack. Now, several monsters call the Nether home, including zombie pigmen, magma cubes, ghasts, wither skeletons, and blazes. Zombie pigmen and baby pigmen, which are cousins to the standard overworld zombie, are the most common mobs and are also passive-aggressive. As long as pigmen are left alone, they won't bother you. If you attack one though, it causes all pigmen in the area to swarm you, and they hit hard, so keep this in mind should you feel like going toe-to-toe with one of them. If you kill pigmen though, they'll occasionally drop one of 3 things. The most common is rotten flesh, followed by the more rare drops, gold nuggets, or some sort of gold armor or sword. Next are magma cubes, the cousins of the green slimes you find in the overworld, but naturally they're the hotter, burning version. They don't pose any significant threat, but as with any mob, caution should be taken when dealing with them. When killed though, they will occasionally drop magma cream, which is an alchemy ingredient. Now for ghasts, which are the most troublesome monsters found in the entirety of the Nether. They float around, cry, and shoot deadly explosive fireballs at you. Because most of the Nether consists of the brittle stone netherrack, ghasts can easily change the landscape, filling it with small holes, large craters, and lighting it on fire. This can result in dangerous opportunities to die a sudden vertical death by falling through the gaps they create. When and if you kill a ghast though, by either firing arrows at it or batting the fireballs back at it with a sword, it may drop gunpowder, or a ghast tear, which is an extremely valuable alchemy ingredient. The second to last enemy is the blaze. This burning non-corporeal creature is more or less a floating fire. It hovers about and relentlessly throws fire at you when approached, making it a bit difficult to kill. Being set on fire is especially problematic in the Nether as well. Water instantaneously evaporates when it's dumped out of a bucket, so there's really no quick way to put yourself out. This can be circumvented by filling a cauldron with water and jumping in it, but that's a cumbersome workaround at best. If you do end up destroying a blaze though, it will likely drop a blaze rod, which is a critical component in creating an alchemy set to brew potions, and it is also used as an alchemy ingredient. The final monster found in the Nether is the wither skeleton, which is a very strong melee-oriented cousin to classic skeletons, which also spawn in the Nether just as well as the overworld. Wither skeletons stand more than 2 blocks tall, hit as hard as zombie pigmen, and their attacks inflict wither. Wither is a particularly annoying curse as it darkens your health bar, making it difficult to tell the difference between full and empty hearts. When killed, Wither skeletons will drop one of 4 items. The first 2, and most common, are bones and coal, while the second 2 are stone swords and wither skulls. While bones, coal, and stone swords are far from impressive, the skulls are what truly make hunting the deadly skeletons worthwhile. Wither skulls are a critical component in summoning the Wither, a special and very powerful endgame boss, which is covered in a separate guide. That's all of the mobs in the Nether, but before moving on, there's something special about finding Wither skeletons and blazes. Unlike other mobs, which spawn anywhere, Wither skeletons and blazes can only be found in special structures called Nether fortresses. Nether fortresses are just what their name implies, large imposing edifices that stand out against the strangely shaped landscape. While picking out the features of fortresses can be easy, actually finding one is a bit of a different story. However, there are a few techniques to increase your chances of discovering one. First, you should travel in a diagonal direction. Fortress structures are generated in vertical north-south patterns. You can determine the north-south directions by bringing up the debug screen with F3, function F3 on Mac, in which the direction you're facing is indicated. Traveling in a diagonal fashion is your best bet to stumbling across a fortress, seeing as how there's no guarantee the game will generate one on any given vertical strip of the map. Second, you should keep an eye out for long bridges and support beams. These are the most distinguishing features of fortresses and can help you spot one when you may otherwise glance over them. Additionally, there's nothing stopping fortresses from generating inside of mountains, so if you see a strangely uniform leg or arm sticking out of the terrain, start digging around. Finding the location of another fortress aside, the next thing to cover is why they're worth finding and exploring at all. As stated already, fortresses are the only places you'll find the blaze and wither skeleton mobs. Aside from those enemies and the items they can drop, there's only one other thing that makes a nether fortress an important location to visit: netherwort. Where blazes are critical to kill for crafting a potion stand for alchemy, netherwort is the most important base ingredient for brewing almost any potion in the game. This strange fungi can only be found inside of nether fortresses, and furthermore, there's only one specific place it will grow. Nether fortresses are generated at random and made of a series of cookie-cutter rooms, halls, and corridors. Of all the rooms a fortress can be built of, though, the stairway garden is the only one where you'll find netherwort growing. While finding a fortress and the specific section inside can be difficult, recognizing the garden isn't hard at all, and harvesting the netherwort is simple enough. However, if you want to grow your own garden in the normal overworld, there's one other thing you'll need: soul sand. It's the only thing netherwort can be planted in, and it's exclusively found in the nether, just like several other types of blocks. Unlike the overworld, there's a very limited number of unique blocks found in the nether. The first material is netherrack, an ugly, brittle type of stone. While it serves little use as is, it does have some unique properties. The first, most simple use of netherrack is for creating fires. Unlike all other blocks that can be lit on fire, netherrack, once lit ablaze, will never go out or be consumed by flames. The second and more useful application it has is to make nether bricks, which are used to craft blocks of nether brick, the same material that fortresses are made out of. When smelted in a furnace, netherrack will be turned into individual bricks, and when combined in a 2x2 crafting square, those bricks become a full block. The ability to do this, though, doesn't really carry much use beyond being able to craft a good-looking building material. It is faster and easier than tearing down an entire nether fortress block by block, though. The second material exclusive to the nether is also necessary for creating many advanced redstone items: quartz. Quartz ore is embedded in the netherrack landscape, and when mined, it drops a crystal-like item that can be used in multiple crafting recipes. The application of quartz in redstone recipes was covered in full in the episode Redstone Parts, so check that out if you're interested. Outside of creating redstone contraptions, though, quartz is primarily a building material, albeit a very expensive one. While it's not exactly rare, you still need to mine no less than 4 quartz crystals to create 1 block of quartz, which is then used to create all other quartz blocks, like slabs, stairs, chiseled blocks, and a special pillar block that looks like marble columns. While quartz does create some very fancy blocks to build with, its relative scarcity and sheer volume required to create the blocks will likely encourage most people to not rely on it as a construction material. The two remaining blocks exclusive to the Nether are soul sand and glowstone. Glowstone is easy enough to find as it appears in large hanging clusters. The catch is getting up to and harvesting it while not being blown up by ghasts. When broken though, it shatters into dust, which serves as an alchemy ingredient, but can also be recrafted into glowstone blocks, which serve as both a great light source and adds a distinct aesthetic flair to the things you build. Last but not least is soul sand. Unlike all the other blocks in the Nether, soul sand is one of the commodities that can't be found in a specific location. Spotting it can be a bit hit and miss, but most of the time soul sand is fairly easy to stumble across, as it is generated in large chunks. It's a dark brownish-black material that slows you down when you walk in it, and it's the only thing that netherwort will grow in, making it a must-have for anyone looking to engage in alchemy. It does, however, have another, more nefarious use, along with wither skulls. That, however, is a subject for another video. That's everything there is to the Nether, from mobs to blocks to plants and random drops. The risk of visiting Hell may seem to outweigh the rewards, but that's only true if you don't know how valuable the rewards are and what you can do with them. For instance, after visiting the hellish landscape and staging a successful expedition into a fortress, you'll finally have the means to engage in the extremely useful system of alchemy, which is the focus of the next guide. Until next time, I'm William Strife of the GHAST, and a Minecraft expert. I'll see you later.